Yes, we can.
Yeah, okay. Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible. I'm Kavita, Assistant Professor from CSE Department. And it is with great honor and passion that I welcome you all for the inaugural ceremony of 1 week professional development program on mastering edge analytics and prompt engineering for innovation in teaching and learning. This program, organized by the Department of Computer Science and Engineering and IEEE Student Branch SMC, it's a testament to our commitment to fostering cutting edge knowledge and research in education and technology. The Vardhaman College of Engineering, located in Shamshabad, was founded by the Vardhaman Education Society in 1999. We offers diverse academic programs like BTech, MTech, MBA, and doctoral programs in various engineering and management disciplines. VC has been recognized for its academic excellence with an A++ grade accreditation by the National Assessment and Accreditation Council NAC and NBA Tier 1 accreditation for 6 UG engineering programs. Specializations offered for BTech programs in CSE, AIML, AIDS, IT, ECE, EEE, ME, CE, and MTech specialization in DECS, PWD, CSE, SE, ED. We have special recognition for excellence for the MBA program, which received NBA accreditation in 2023, highlighting VCA academic standards. Now, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to our chief patrons, Dr. T. Vijender Reddy sir, Sri T. Upendra Reddy sir, Sri M. Rajashekar Reddy sir, and Sri E. Prabhakar Reddy sir, for their continuous support and visionary leadership in advancing quality education at Vardhaman College of Engineering. A special thanks to our patron, Professor Javier Ravindra Sir, Principal, whose encouragement and dedication has been instrumental in creating a learning ecosystem that nurtures both students and faculty. A distinguished academician and researcher with a PhD from IIIT Hyderabad and ME and BE from Osmania University, recipient of the Outstanding Principal Award by India Global Media Network 2021, and mentor to many PhD students. Sir has been published 100 plus research papers and completed multiple research projects in low power circuits, DSP architectures, hardware security, and wireless sensor networks. I also wish to acknowledge the efforts of our convener, Dr. Ramesh Karnati Sir, HOD CSC. The CSC department, established in 1999, is the most sought after at the institute, offering BTech with the intake of 540 students and MTech and PhD programs. The BTech program is aggregated by the NITE Tier 1, ensuring high quality education and training. The department specializes in artificial intelligence, deep learning, data science, IoT, high performance computing, networking, and image processing. The department of CSE, led by Dr. Ramesh Karnati Sir, an accomplished academician with around 20 years of experience, continues to thrive under his guidance. Sir earned his PhD from the National Institute of Technology, Warangal, and his expertise lies in deep learning techniques, the Internet of Things, and machine learning. I now take this opportunity to invite our esteemed head of the department, Dr. Ramesh Karnati sir, to share his valuable insights with us. Sir, we look forward to your inspiring words and guidance.
audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to express their gratitude for guiding us this wonderful, organize and conduct insightful session, fostering a culture of life. It is my pleasure all to this explore about an area that is department has always been considering excellent research. This session is another extend my taking the time.
Sir, your voice is very low, sir.
Now, is it audible, madam?
Yes, sir, it is
Yes, sir.
audible now, sir.
Yeah, yeah. I extend my gratitude to all the speakers for taking their valuable time to share their knowledge and expertise with us. This session promises to be highly interactive and enriching, providing hands on learning and valuable insight. I encourage each one of you to actively participate, ask questions, and make the most of this opportunity in sharing knowledge. Let's embark on this journey of learning together. And thank you, and all the best.
Thank you for your valuable words, sir. Now, I would like to introduce a senior member of IEEE, Dr. M.A. Jabbar, sir, who brings over 20 years of teaching experience with research interest spanning artificial intelligence, big data analytics, bioinformatics, cybersecurity, machine learning, attack graphs, and many more areas. Sir is a senior member of IEEE and a lifetime member of prestigious professional organization including the Computer Society of India and Indians, Indian Science Congress Association. Sir has been honored with the Best Faculty Researchers Award by the CSI Mumbai chapter, IIT Bombay. His contributions has been recognized by elsewhere where he was named an outstanding reviewer and by the IEEE Hyderabad session which awarded him the Outstanding Leadership Award. IEEE is the world's largest professional organization committed to driving technology, innovation, and excellence for the betterment of humanity. The IEEE systems, MAN, and CyberNet societies, a distinguished society within IEEE, is a dedicated to advancing the theory, practice, and interdisciplinary aspects of systems, science, and engineering human machine systems, and cybernets, serving both its member and the broader community. Now, I would like to introduce you all the participants to the HPC team. HPC high performance computing is a key domain under the CSC department focusing on parallel processing, supercomputing, and large scale data analysis. It plays a crucial role in scientific computing, artificial intelligence, and big data analytics. The department actively promotes HPC through frequent workshops, seminars, and hands on training sessions, advancing research and innovation in this cutting edge field. It's my pleasure to introduce HPC team Dr. R. Sai Sindhu, Dr. U. Sheshadri, Dr. R. Arun Kumar, Mr. D. Ganesh, Ms. K. Ashlesha Vijay, Mr. Rajkumar Patil, Mr. S. Surender, Ms. A. Soumya, Ms. J. Srilata, Ms. C. H. Madhurya, Ms. R. Shweta, Ms. C. Kavita, Mr. M. Sai Prashant. And this team is led by Dr. Shanti Makka, Madam, Professor in CSC, having more than 20 years of experience in teaching. Madam research experts lies in theoretical computer science, parallel computing, machine learning, and blockchain technology, focusing on advancing computational models, optimizing large scale processing, and enhancing security and efficiency in decentralized systems. Now, we are privileged to have with us a distinguished panel of speakers and experts, including Mr. Sapnil Saurav, Manager, ServiceNow, Dr. Tasleem Bano Rahman, Associate Professor, MJCET, Hyderabad, Dr. Sanju M. Tiwari, Professor from Sharda University, Greater Noida, Dr. Vaibhav Tiwari, Assistant Professor, Maulana Azad National Institute of Technology, Mr. Uma Desu, CEO, Intel India. Your experts in AI, edge analytics, and prompt engineering will undoubtedly provide invaluable insights to all our participants. To our faculty members, students, research scholars, and industry professionals who have been joined us, I extend a warm welcome. Your eagerness to engage and explore the evolving landscape of AI-driven education make this program truly meaningful. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Shanti Makka ma'am to brief about the PDP.
Thank you so much, Kavita ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for your kind and precious words about everyone. As Anthony J.D. Angelo says, develop a passion for learning. If you do, you will never refrain to grow. Respected principals, sir, honorable resource persons, esteemed HODs, Dr. Ramesh Karnati, sir, HOD CSC, and Dr. M.A. Jabbar, sir, HOD CSM, distinguished faculty members, and dear participants. A very good evening to all of you. I am Dr. Shanti Makka, professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, domain lead of HPC at Vardhaman College of Engineering. And it is my privilege to welcome you all to this professional development program on mastering edge analytics and prompt engineering for innovation in teaching and learning, which is organized by the Department of CSC and IEEE Student Branch SMC, Vardhaman College of Engineering, Hyderabad. This 5-day program, scheduled from 11th to 15th February 2025, which is aims to equip educators and professionals with cutting-edge knowledge in edge analytics and prompt engineering through transformative technologies shaping the future of education and research. With the rapid advancement of AI-driven
Ma'am, we
technology,
are getting echo. Ma'am,
yes,
we are getting echo from your end. I think now it is fine, ma'am. Continue.
is it fine now?
No, ma'am, we are getting echo.
But someone is speaking on already. Am I audible now clearly?
Yes, ma'am. Now it is clear.
Yeah, someone else is already like making noise, I guess. Okay, with the rapid advancement of AI-driven technologies, edge analytics enables real-time data processing at the source, improving efficiency and decision making. While prompt engineering plays a crucial role in optimizing AI interactions for intelligent tutoring systems, automated assessments, and research advancements. Our sessions will be led by distinguished panel of academic experts and industry leaders who will share their insights, practical applications, and emerging trends that can be directly integrated into our teaching methodologies and research pursuits. A warm welcome to our esteemed resource persons whose expertise will guide us through this enriching learning experience. So today we have Mr. Swapnil Saurabh sir from ServiceNow, Hyderabad, and it is followed by rest of the sessions by Dr. Sanju M. Tiwari from Sharda University and Dr. Tasneem Banu Rahman from uh, MCET Hyderabad, Mr. Uma Desu, CEO of Intelli India, and Dr. Vibha Tiwari from Maulana Azad National Institute of Technology from Bhopal. And now I'm going to brief you about the guidelines of this PDP. The program is scheduled from 11th to 15th February from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. every day, and 80% of attendance is compulsory, and you're required to score 60% of marks in the assessment, which will be conducted on 15th February. To award the certificate, these two parameters mandatory for all the participants. A feedback link will be provided every day at the end of each session for marking attendance. Participants can also use Q&A chat box to ask the questions. The attendance link will close by 8 p.m. sharply every day. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the organizing team for their dedication, to our renowned speakers for sharing their expertise, and to all participants for their commitment to learn. Let's capture this opportunity to collaborate, innovate, and enhance our professional growth. I look forward to an engaging and insightful week ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for briefing about the PDP and providing the insightful information to the participants. And now I would like to invite Soumya, ma'am, for introducing today's speaker.
Hello. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah, you're audible.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Soumya, Assistant Professor from CSC Department. It is an absolute pleasure to welcome you all to this professional development program on mastering edge analytics and prompt engineering for innovation in teaching and learning. We are honored to have a distinguished gathering of educators, researchers, and professionals who are committed to continuous learning and academic excellence. As we dive into today's agenda, we are in for another round of engaging and thought provoking sessions. Our focus will continue to be on expanding our knowledge and exploring innovative ideas within these dynamic fields. Let's embrace this opportunity to further our learning and continue the collaborative spirit that has defined our program. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce you all an individual whose career is a remarkable tapestry of experience, expertise, and excellence, Mr. Swapnil Saurabh. With over 20 years of experience, Swapnil sir stands out as a versatile and accomplished professional with a deep passion for addressing customer challenges and driving business growth. His career spans a broad spectrum of industries, including consumer packaged goods, retail, healthcare, and IT services. Sir, his impressive skill set encompasses business analytics, financial analysis, data visualization, machine learning, and value engineering in IT projects. And currently, Sir serves as a manager of problem management in cloud operations at ServiceNow Hyderabad. In this role, he leads team to address complex program problems, leveraging advanced statistical modeling and machine learning to enhance operational efficiency and user experience. His efforts in data analytics have not only improved service levels but also reduced operational costs and mitigated risk. Not only in industries, Sir has extended beyond his professional roles. Sir has authored several important books on data analytics, machine learning, and cloud computing. And his research has been published in prestigious journals. His work has earned his accolades such as the CEO Award for Leading Innovation Programs and recognition at the World DevOps Summit. Sir's dedication to his field is further evidenced by his involvement in academia, having served as a visiting faculty member and guest lecturer as renowned institutions. In sum up, Swapnil Sir is a distinguished leader whose expertise, innovation mindset, and commitment to excellence have left an indelible mark across various sectors. We are honored to have him with us today, and I'm sure his insights will inspire and enlighten us all. Please join me in welcoming Swapnil sir. I welcome you, sir. Swapnil sir.
Ma'am, can you hear me now?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. Hi. Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I was not able to unmute. I think now everybody can hear me. Great. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for taking out time for today's session. So I'll get started with my presentation. So today my focus is to talk a little bit about edge analytics, a little bit, and a little bit about LLM. That's my topic for today. And I'll also show you the power of prompt engineering. Okay, and obviously we also want to see why prompt engineering and edge analytics is future, right? So I'll talk about different aspects. So let me share my screen. Can you see my screen? No, right? Not yet, right? Please just give me Teams. I'm not able to yeah, share. Yeah, it should be visible now, right?
Yes,
Can you
it is
confirm
visible
if you
now.
can hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it is
You
visible.
can see me. Okay, great. So again, so let's get started, everyone. So today's topic, as I said, is about edge analytics, and I'm trying to link LLM with edge analytics. That's my topic for today. Okay, so what is edge analytics? Okay, so as the name suggests, analytics means you are trying to process the data, isn't it? You are trying to collect, analyze, and process data. Then what's the edge about it? Edge means you're doing all these at the source. So for example, if you want to analyze a data from, let's say, customers' data. So generally, now what happens is the data is collected at a centralized server, and you run your model at the centralized server. So problem with that is, first, you have to deal with lot of data, correct? And also the challenge is the privacy, right? Your data is going beyond your premises, right? So you don't want to lose the control over data. So the edge analytics concept is that why can't we build some kind of mechanism at the endpoint itself so that data can be processed and only the specific data is sent to the centralized server. By doing that, one, data is secured, okay, and more importantly, you are not at the centralized server, you are not, getting bulk of the data, right? So, think of the bandwidth, think of the time that takes for data to get uploaded. Okay, so those things are minimized, right? Bandwidth is better utilized, your latency reduces, and as a centralized server, you don't want to, let's say, okay, let's take example. Let's say you have your smart watches. Now, when you sell your smartwatches, there will be lakhs of people wearing your smartwatches. And if you have to deal every data from the smartwatches, imagine the amount of hard disk, amount of data that you have to handle at your end. So you will say, okay, I don't want to handle all this data. Send me the relevant data for which I can handle. That's the objective of edge analytics. Analytics, okay, where bulk of the work is done at the client site itself, and only the filtered data reaches to the centralized server. So idea is why do we have to do this, right? Obviously, there are a lot of advantages of doing it. Okay, you don't have to have too much of hard disk kept at the central server. You don't have to deal with large volume of data. Okay, and as for the user as well, lot of the analysis is done and given to the user itself. Now, let's say if you are my customer, I don't need to get your data to my server, process and give it back to you. If I can have a mechanism where I can set it at your end itself, okay, so your analysis is done at your end itself. I don't have to come in between. So data protection, privacy, all those things are maintained. Okay, so it is a win-win situation for both client, okay, customer, I mean to say, and the business provider. I don't have to deal with large hard disk or having a high-end server at my end. At the same time, you are benefited because you don't have to share your data with me, but still you are getting the benefit of the tools and the processes which I have. That's the aim of edge analytics. Now imagine where almost all our things that we use are smart, right? They collect lots and lots of data. So the data in a way is generated. So I was reading some article which said that the amount of data that we generated in last 1 year, okay, 24, is more than the data that we have generated so far in our life, not in our life, in the entire history of the world. So every year, so much of data is getting generated. So we are trying to make sure that not data which is not relevant is stored on the server. That's the high level purpose of edge analytics. I'm sure there will be other speakers who will go deeper into edge analytics and a little bit about how edge analytics work. So you have at one end the sensors. Sensors would collect the data, right? Which is in any situation you have sensors which collect the data. Okay, but there is a edge devices which are associated at that same level where you're collecting the data. So these edge devices pre-processes the data at the edge itself. Then you run your AI/ML model locally. Okay, and then your edge gateway will send the relevant data. The data that needs to go out to the centralized server will be sent to the server. And only those processed data is sent to the cloud. That's how typically edge network works. And on the slide, okay, here if you can see, I have written a small code, okay, which I'm not going to run, but yeah, you can run it later and see. It's a simulation basically. It is a simulation to simulate the data locally. It's going to generate some temperature data locally and processed, done at the locally itself. And then filtered data is sent to the server. So I just said, first you need to have sensors, okay, which will read the data locally. Then you need to process at the edge. Then then have your algorithms built into at the edge, and your just the filter data is sent to the cloud, and that filter data which goes to the server or to the cloud okay, is processed for a higher level. Let's say I want to understand how healthy are people in different cities of India. Okay, so if that is my goal, I will need only specific data from your smartwatch, right, or from your devices. So only those data is gone, which will be useful for the objectives I have. But if you talk about your objective, you want to see how much am I getting a good sleep or not? Am I doing required number of exercise or not? What are my steps? Those data remain on your phone or your or devices or your sensors. So this also helps in real-time execution for you. Okay, data going to the server and getting back to your devices, okay, will take time, obviously. So putting AI ML model, whatever algorithm models that you have at the edge device itself is the objective. And this is a small Python program which you can use it for simulating what we have just discussed. Okay, so this is what edge analytics is. Now, if I move to the next part, LLM, okay, that's what my topic is, large language model. Now, if you look at historically, right, AI has evolved, okay, from just running, say, machine learning models to now we're talking about generative AI, where AI is able to create new content, right? So they have different algorithms like GAN, WAN, and transformers. Okay, and if you talk about generating text, transformers are the best way to generate text. And I'm not going to go deeper into other models like GAN and variational autoencoders, WAN or VAE, sorry, VAE and GAN, more focused on transformer. So transformer is a technique. Okay, transformer is a technique where you take input data, okay, and then you try to predict what could be the most probable output based on the input that you have provided. Okay, so that's why when you put some content, let's say if I put, okay, what is the color of grass, for example. Okay, now the AI model, the generative model, okay, or the autoencoders, they don't have any brain as such to process your data. So it is going to look at the data in the process data, trained data, and try to figure out what could be the next probable text that would be generated. And that's how basically the generative AI generates new content. Okay, so generative AI can generate your audio, video, right, images, but LLM specifically are models that are focused on generating text. Okay, so again, as one of our topic for today's presentation is prompt engineering, right? So prompt engineering is the way you give right prompts or right input to this LLM models. Okay, now these LLM models, okay, is driven by the prompts. So prompt is the input that we give, and output that we get from the devices or from the AI model is the response from the model. And of course, ChatGPT, of course, is the most popular model as of today in generative AI, LLM models. And you have DeepSeek and other Gemini and other models that has also come up. So what they do is, okay, these models, they take the prompts from you, and then based on the prompt, it'll create a new content. It generate new content. That's why we say generative AI, creating new content. Okay, prompt engineering in itself is a large or deep topic. Okay, why do we need to understand prompt engineering? Is the way you ask the question, right? Let's say when you talk to your friend, okay, and let's say you ask your friend, okay, other day you told me about the problem that you are facing, okay, at office. Is it resolved? Now, the whole discussion was done maybe, let's say, 1 week back, okay, and today you are saying, did it resolve? You do not give entire context. You do not make your friend remind. You do not reminded your friend, isn't it? Okay. because the context is already set between you and your friend. So when you say, okay, the problem that you faced in the office, your friend knows which problem you're talking about. And then your friend will respond saying, yes, it is resolved. I did this and it's now resolved. So what is happening here? The conversation that you are having, you started today's conversation based on some context which was done some 1 week back. Okay. Now coming to our prompt engineering, coming to our LLM models, they also maintain this context. Okay, that's the beauty, right? Now, when you do a Google search, for example, now when you search something in Google, Google will give you list of output. Now, second search that you make, the second search is no way connected to your previous search, right? It is a new search, it's a new content. But generative AI or our LLM model will maintain the context. Okay, so second question that you ask, okay, will be derived from the first context itself. Okay, that's why if you see on my slide, I'm talking about chain of thoughts. Chain of thoughts are the rest. So prompt and response, we have two words here. I mean, prompt is what you give to the model and response is what you get from the model. So your prompt and response are linked. So if I say first prompt, let's say and I'm going to show you, okay, last 15-20 minutes, I have kept for a demo and I'll take one data set from retail and we will ask ChatGPT to design or do data analytics for us. Okay, so we'll see how ChatGPT will respond to our prompts. But idea here is that our instruction or query that we send, prompt that we send, okay, has to be relevant. So either it is rule based. So rule based means what? If I talk about, let's say I ask how many planets are there in the universe. Okay, so if I ask you how many planets are there, earlier we had 9, but now we have only 8, right? So what happens is when you talk about pre-trained model, right? So it also depends upon on what data your model was trained. If your data was trained on the 9 thing, your output will be 9, right? Now the way response is generated is a different topic, but the answer per se. So if your LLM model was trained on older data, probably you get 9 as the response. So that's why sometimes we say that the response can be incorrect. Okay, but if your model was trained on latest data, it will go and figure out from somewhere that it is 8. But now you see here, if you again train on new data also, it is possible that older data was also read by the model, right? So if you search internet for now, you will have some old sources where they'll talk about 9 planets. And there will be some newer sources which will talk about 8 number of planets as 8 in our solar system. Now, so how will model generate this? Okay, now if you are aware that, okay, in let's say 2020, they changed to 8. So you can ask the model, can you generate a data later than 2020? Can you look at the sources later than 2020? So this is what I'm saying rule-based. Rule-based is you define your proper context, you define your proper prompt and you pass to the model and then model will generate. And then you can continue working with the prompt. So whether it is about getting historical data, whether it is about learning a new language, for example. Okay, and in fact, the whole basis of the ChatGPT or LLM model was language translation. Okay, the scientists were working to develop a model that will help us to do the language translation. Okay, and it was done by a scientist from Google who first wrote the paper. And their objective was to design a model which can do language translation better. So you can actually learn a new language. You can keep comment like, okay, what is meaning of how do you say, let's say, how are you in Russian? And it will translate and give it to you. So again, these are rule based. But then if you want to have some kind of conversation, okay, I want to know how to say if I go to Russia for the first time, Okay. And I want to know how to interact with people. So then you can have a conversation, and that is a chain-based conversation, right? So now talking about how do you merge edge analytics with LLM model? What are the advantages of that? How do you make sure that LLM model and edge analytics will work in future? And this is purely based on my little bit of understanding this model and what I have read about it. Okay. What it says is future is about edge analytics and supported by your prompt engineering, where your prompts are generated by the edge itself, by the devices itself, and the models are run. Okay, so in future you will see these chat GPT and all these models being designed with a smaller memory requirement, smaller system requirement, which can be installed or placed on the edges itself. And that's what scientists are working on. How do you make these models simpler, okay, which can be installed at edges? Okay, so for example, if you see here, we're talking about real-time AI decision making with, say, optimized prompt. Okay, so your edge analytics enables real-time AI inferencing. Example, if you see here, so we are setting up edge AI at a smart factory. Okay, and the edge AI is to detect machine faults. Okay, so if you have a well-engineered prompt, okay, designed by your edges, it can do the fault diagnosis interaction by itself. Now, what happens? You have those devices kept near the factories and captures all the data and sent to the centralized server. You will have a team sitting in head office. Okay, it could be like far off from the factory. Factory could be in a small town place, and it could be the office could be in a city, right? So you will have a team sitting in city, okay, where the data is sent in real time, okay, and then you have all these mechanisms here to identify anomalies, right? So, for example, simple example, let's say if you are handling let's say warehouse where you store ice cream. Now you know that temperature of ice cream should be between -2 and -5 degrees Celsius. Anything less than -2 again will spoil the ice cream, and temperature below -5, okay, will change the taste of the ice cream. So you need to maintain the temperature between -2 and -5, let's say. So, you know, you'll have data being captured at every, let's say every 30 seconds. Now, how do you know the temperature has changed? Maybe you'll have to have some kind of filter designed here, which will keep reading the data. And the moment the data goes beyond -2 to -5 range, it will alert. And then you send this message to the person in the factory or warehouse saying that, okay, I see there is a problem and now you need to fix it. This is the current situation. Now, if you can build prompt engineering or LLM model within these AI or edge and AI devices, you will have prompts getting created automatically at the factory premise itself. You will not have person or having someone sitting in head office managing all of these. Okay, you have 100 warehouses across the world. Okay, you can't have a server where all the data. And see, if you talk about some fault like this, probably it will happen 10 times in a year or 20 times in a year. But if you're reading every 30 seconds, imagine the kind of data that you're capturing at the central server. Every 30 seconds, you're capturing just temperature data, and you will definitely have other data also being captured. So you are avoiding to capture these devices. And let's say for some reason, internet is down, right? We do have problems with internet. Sometimes cable cut will happen or something goes wrong. Then again, data will not come to the central server and the processing will not happen. But if you have this, the LLM model, okay, designed and kept along with edge AI on the premises, they can talk to each other and fix the problem, right? So here you see I have an example here. It says that machine X is showing unusual vibration. Would you like to analyze past failures for predictive insights? So this is the prompt auto-generated, not somebody sitting in head office analyzing it, okay, at that local place. Okay. Now, if you say yes, the analytics will start happening. Okay. And today, in some time, we'll talk about how we can create different analytics using ChatGPT. You don't need advanced tools like Excel or Tableau. You can use LLM models itself to generate insights. But the point I'm trying to make here is that these kinds of prompts, okay, are auto-generated at the edge itself. That means where the source of data is. Okay. There's another example that I have here. Sorry. Another example that I have here is talking about optimizing AI model interaction for edge processing. So let's say you have your smartwatch, okay, and of course your smartwatch will monitor different parameters. Okay. Now, if you see if your heart rate has been irregular for 5 minutes, okay, the prompt would be created by itself saying, I noticed that you have a irregular heart rate for last 5 minutes. Should I alert a doctor? Or should I send this to if you have taken some kind of subscription, okay, they might send that data to that subscription. But more importantly, it is going to alert you right then. Okay, data is at your device and it is alerting you. So we're talking about creating these well-formed prompts, well-formed queries at your source. Okay, so Ajay, we've been talking about, right? You don't have to run complex AI model for full diagnosis. Okay, right then with some kind of parameters. Okay, you can create the form, create the prompt, and you and of course you can decide what to do with the response. So idea is to create the prompt and get the response, and based on response you can take further action. So this is of course going to reduce our computational cost, faster response, and more importantly, efficient use of the edge resources. Right now, when we talk about sensors, okay, just to collect the data. Okay, but now if you're able to build some kind of memory into these sensors, a lot of analysis can happen at the sensors itself, at the source itself. Okay, so how does data analytics and LLMs complement each other? Okay, the main reason here is that it will process, what will process data analytics is more about structured data, right? When we talk about data analytics, it's easy to analyze if it is in table format. Okay, it's easy to analyze if it is in some kind of structured format. And it is more about what happened, right? I can go through the historical data and I can say that, okay, this machine failed 3 times in last 6 months, or my revenue fell by 10%, okay, compared to same period last year. So it is always about what happened. Okay, you will never get an idea about how it happened with analytics. Okay, but when you talk about your large language model, large language models can work on unstructured data also. Okay, and you don't have to have pre-processing steps. Okay, the large language models can, do the pre-processing by itself, and also it can perform some computational, extensive work like sentiment analysis, right? Now, instead of running a complex AI model, your LLM model can create sentiment analysis with few nice prompts, few properly structured prompts. Okay, and analytics is more about SQL, Tableau, Power BI, etc. And you have your own algorithms, right? That you have to use like regression, clustering, time series. But if you talk about LLM models, okay, it is just about typing few natural languages. I'm not talking about any code, any specific code that you need to learn. Using our own natural languages like English, you can use, in fact, any language, not just English, but any language you can use to work with LLM models. And it has generative capabilities. Okay, it can create, it knows how to analyze which algorithm to use and give you data by itself, right? Because of which, of course, LLMs are being used for multiple use cases. Like here you see what market research, employee insights. Okay, you have, let's say, employee data. Let's say you are HR of a company. You have data about employee. Okay, and you want to see why, or instead of, you want some quick questions, right? Who answer to quick questions like how many employees left company last year. So it'll calculate and give it to you. Second question could be, what was the common reason among all of these? Okay, so how many employees left? Probably you can also do with few steps in Excel. You can calculate how many employees left. But what is the common reason why they of them left? What is the, something that, what is the main reason why employees left? Now that would mean you to write complex code, complex NLP code to analyze that. But our LLM model can, within few seconds, can analyze and give you the reason why people have left your organization. Okay, so that's where we're talking about large language models, and that's what capabilities want to bring to the edge so that it becomes easier for people sitting in the premises, or not even people. You can even create a, it can fire the output result to the respective end user. The person who needs to know will get the processed data. You don't have to process the data at a centralized server, but it can be processed at the edge and sent to the right people. Okay, so right, so I just said, okay, I don't want to get into the slides. Okay, just at a high level, we know that LLM models, okay, will also help us to know why it happened, right? Not just what happened, but why it happened. Okay, which will help us to enhance our decision making capabilities. It will make it faster, decentralized, faster. Okay, and like what we say, streamlined business process. Okay, for example, if you see here, a customer service tool can display both ticket resolution time, which is analytics, which is based on some calculation, and common customer pain points. So similarly to what I just said, right? You can know how many people left your organization last year, but also you can know what is the common reason why they left your organization. And it will help you to do comprehensive reporting. Okay.
Sir, Swapnil, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, can we take one screenshot, sir? Can you please switch on your camera? And participants also requested. Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
No problem, ma'am. I'm not so well versed with Teams, so now I need to know where to switch on camera. 1 second, ma'am. So can I here?
Sir, let your screen present, sir. Just switch
Yes.
on. Yeah.
And my screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're clearly visible. All the participants are requested to switch on your cameras. Sorry, sir. Swapnil, sir.
No, ma'am. No problem, ma'am.
All the participants, kindly switch on your cameras, please. Arjun sir, participants are saying that they are not able to turn on the cameras. Yeah, he's giving access participant. Just a minute. Yeah, we are enabling. Is it okay now? Arun sir, have you given access to everyone?
Yes, madam. Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah. Participants, clear. Please switch on your cameras now. All the participants, kindly switch on your cameras, please. See, in between this session, we have interrupted. Kindly switch on your cameras. Thank you so much. Swapnil sir, please continue the session. I'm extremely sorry for
No
interrupting.
problem, ma'am. No problem at all. Okay, so now what I'll do is I will show you hands-on how we can actually use ChatGPT to get that to handle the data. Okay, we will do data analysis as well as generate insights, and I've also done with Python code, which because of lack of time we won't be able to run the Python code, but I can share with you with the team, and you can share with the participants, ma'am. After the session, I'll share the code, Python code. Everyone, can you see my screen? ChatGPT?
No, sir.
No,
No.
it is not visible, sir.
Okay. So it should be. If I do screen or okay, let me do screen directly. So everything will be shared then. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen now, right? ChatGPT open.
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Okay, so now what I'll do is I will read a Excel file, which is on my desktop. Now you can think of it as LLM model running on the local server, right? It's not connected at head office and people are not using, it's not like you have a team there. So I've uploaded my file to this, okay? And I will create some prompts here, okay? And see the result, how fast we will get the result, okay? Without doing much of analysis. Okay, so I'll say, okay, can you please tell me more about the attached file? Okay, so let's say I don't even know what this file is all about. In fact, this is a retail data, so I know what it is all about. I'm just, asking ChatGPT to tell me what it is all about. Okay, so it is getting uploaded, it is processing, and it will tell us about that. Okay. Of course, all these things can be automated. If you had ChatGPT API, you can, can be update, can be automated as well. So you see here now it is analyzing. So this is the data that which I uploaded. It has a period where the sales was done, sales including of VAT. You have sales, volume, transaction. CSAT is customer satisfaction score. Okay, ASP is average selling price. Category is fresh, packaged, clothing. These are different categories. Okay, so it has uploaded, and let's see if there's. So this is the prompt. What I gave is prompt, and let me see if it's given a proper response. Now you see here. See, I told please give me details about this file. So it says it has 71,000 rows, 21 columns, likely represents sales and customer data from different stores. Okay, which is very true. Key columns include sales, including VAT, sales excluding VAT, volume transactions, which is your sales and transaction related metrics. See, so out of this 21 columns, it has grouped the columns based on the column headers. These are your sales related columns. These are your customer related columns, customer satisfaction score and customer feedback. These are your product and location related. Okay. And I think I had one more sheet. Okay, so we'll ignore the sheet. Okay, now I will say, since I have two sheet, it gave me about two sheet. Let's say I'll ignore sheet one. I'll say from data set V3 sheet. Okay, or I'll say we will use only data this sheet. So it's like setting the context. From next prompt onwards, I'm not going to mention this sheet. Okay, automatically it knows that I'll be using dataset V3 sheet. So here I'm going to say, can you show the total sales including VAT for each categories? Okay, so it's analyzing. Okay, so you see, these are each category: bed, bath, clothing, computers. It has created this sales. I'll say, can you show as a bar graph? Can you present the data as a bar graph? Now, I'm just saying present the data as a bar graph. I did not say which data, which sheet, correct? Because it knows that previous step was to generate the sales data. So definitely I'm going to talk about presenting the sales data. So see, it has created the bar graph. Okay, so you have like clothing, fresh, packaged, and these are the sales. Okay, including VAT by category. This is what we asked for, isn't it? I can talk about some NLP, which is like more text related, right? So can you analyze the customer feedback and say why customers like our products? And you analyze customer feedback and say why customers like our products. Now, see, this is what I said by analyzing text data or unstructured data. Probably graphs, couple of steps using Excel could have got this. But this would require us to go through each of the data, isn't it? Okay, so let's see what it has to say. It has, remember, it has 71,000 rows. Okay, so it is a big, heavy data. It's not a simple like 100, 200 rows. Now you see, okay, it has summarized the output here. Quality. Customers frequently mention quality in their feedback. Okay, customers frequently mention quality in their feedback. Product itself meets customer expectation. Good and excellent. You see that? The data has been processed and summarized for us. 71,000 rows. It would have taken us hours to do that, or probably even days to work on it. Within 2-3 minutes, we got the data. Right? And that's summarized for us. Okay. Maybe I'll do one more and then we'll move back to our presentation. So I'll talk about, let's say, can you show the sales trend, okay, by month? Okay, and oops. Okay, it does not have month, right? So that's why probably that's what saying that you have to have a proper prompt. We didn't had month, we have period here. So I'll resend it. I'll say so trend by period. Hopefully now it should be able to give us some value, some proper graph. Okay. Represent as a bar graph. Represent as a bar graph. Let's see. Maybe it could be dots, which we are not able to see. I want to. Let's. Okay. So I guess that we are not giving proper prompts. Okay. So can you show the sales of all the product categories, all the categories. Can show the sales of the total sales of all the categories by period represented as a bar graph. Okay, while it generates, yeah, I think. Okay, while it generates, I'll show you the Python code which I have for this. Okay, let me, yeah. So you don't want to, if you do not want to use the ChatGPT, the prompt, and you want to automate it using LLM, right? So, okay, so here this is the data set. This is my data set, retail sales data, which is uploaded on GitHub, and you need to replace the ChatGPT API key with your own API key. Okay, So this is the only change that you have to make. And if you run this code, okay, so it has, so you have LangChain. LangChain is one that will take our prompt and send it to the ChatGPT. And here we are going to use SQL database as well. So what happens is the user query, okay, so this is the query prompt. So this prompt, okay, will run and it will execute on our SQL database. So it's going to create a local database with the data stored. Okay, and as I said, right, this is the beauty of running model at an edge, because the edge will have its own data. Okay, SQLite data, you don't, is very lightweight data. And if you are working with SQLite, you don't have to have a pre-installed database, right? If you're dealing with Oracle or SQL Server or any of these database, you have to install the database. But SQLite database comes with Python. If you have installed Python, by default, you have SQLite database, point one. Point two is, okay, when I say SQLite customer.db, customer.db becomes my database. Now, if this database is not there, okay, of course, when you run it for the first time, this database will not be there. Automatically, SQLite will create it. Okay, and if it is there, then it will start using it. And since it is on your local machine, you don't need to know the, generally when you connect to a database, you need to know the IP address, you need to know the username, password. Here, there is no username, password, no IP address, because SQLite, you cannot connect to different server. It has to be on the same device on which you have your program running. Okay, point one. Point two, since it's running on your own device, okay, there's no need to have username, password, and anyway, nobody from outside your device can access it. So SQLite is the best database, okay, which can be used on the edge devices. And these are the queries which we are sending, and these are queries that is being run, okay, by our LLM model. Okay, so whatever we did in the demo, same thing you can do using LangChain. And actually, this document has complete description also, okay, how things work. So yeah, I'll share this, okay, and you can try this on your own machine, okay, and you can try to change the database, you can try to change the prompt and see how it can work. Let's go back to our model that we have. Okay, so now it has created this data. Okay, it has created by a period, and you have different, what do you call it? You have different product categories, and now one more last query I will form, and then we'll go back to presentation. I want to see what is the relationship between CSAT, customer satisfaction, and let's say sales of product categories. Categories. Now, the reason why I have given this question here is, what do you mean by relationship? Right? I have not defined the relationship. It is going to interpret the meaning of relationship and then give me the answer. Okay, so that's what I said. It could be your normal NLP. It doesn't have to be, any code as such. So it understood the meaning of relationship, and it has created a scatter plot for us. Okay, scatter plot where you have on x-axis, you have average CSAT score for each categories, because we said by category, right? For each category, average CSAT score is on x-axis, and your total sales for the category is on y-axis. And you can see here this one. Okay, this looks like blue, dark blue, right? So most probably it will be a fresh. So it says fresh has low sales and low CSAT score. These are the areas which has high CSAT score, okay, but low sales. Okay, then your top right corner will be the one that has high CSAT score and high sales. Your left top are the ones which has high sales but low CSAT score, right? And not only that, if you see, there are some description written here. Here are some key takeaways. Higher CSAT score tend to correlate with higher sales. Some categories have high sales despite low CSAT. Outliers, if any category shows high CSAT, low sales, further investigation into product demand pricing or service quality could be beneficial. So it's also telling us to perform the next steps. Okay, what next steps we can perform on this? Not only that, it says, would you like a deeper analysis such as correlation coefficient or insights into specific categories? I can say yes. Give me correlation coefficient. So see, it's not only giving us the response, but it's also telling us, suggesting us what more we could do. Okay, and if we can take this to the edge, okay, it would be really nice, isn't it? So with that, I move to my presentation again, and I have some more examples here. Okay, here you have like for voice assistant. Okay, you can have in autonomous cars. Okay, let's say if you have a heavy rain detected, okay, and then you have to adjust your driving parameters. So it can give you a prompt saying that, because of heavy rain detected, we are adjusting driving parameters. Maybe if the maximum speed was set to 80 kilometers, it might reduce it to 60 kilometers, right? So you can define your driving parameters and it will adjust it. Okay, so yeah, it has a lot of applications. Okay, you can use it for smart homes. Okay, smart homes, you can change the temperature. It knows when to start AC, when not to start AC. Okay, you can use it in autonomous vehicles. Example we talked about, right? Rain detected. So, reducing the speed by 5 kilometers per hour for safety. Traffic ahead. So do you want to switch on to alternate route, right? It's suggesting you. So, it calculates the traffic by itself and asking you if you want to reroute your traffic or your, the driving route that you're following. Okay, you can even warn you fuel is 10% and nearest gas station is 3 kilometers ahead. Would you like to navigate there, right? So these are the benefits of using your LLM models and data analytics on your edge devices. Okay, so with that, I end my presentation and I'm open for questions if you have any.
Good evening, sir. May I ask a question?
Good evening, ma'am.
Thank you very much for the informative session, first of all. I have a question regarding that we generated a graph and some analytics based on the period. We used a word period based on a period-wise analysis. We didn't mention it was month-wise, year-wise, hour-wise, or we did not specify any time slice for it. So on what basis the analysis was done? Period means what exactly it considered as?
Okay, so if I take you back here, there is a column called period. Okay, so if you go to the data, okay, I'm not able to. So there's a column called period here. That's why it knows that you have to do by month. So data itself has a period and it has January, Feb, March, etc. Did you understand?
Yes, sir, I got it. But if that period was not there, like if something else was there, period.
Then you have to use something else. Okay, so because I mentioned the word.
Sir, I mentioned the word period in my question, but that period word is not there in the data set. Will it assume some specific duration by its own, or I have to specifically mention it?
Okay. So when there is no direct correlation, it will try to take something which is very close to that word. Okay. It will take
Yes, sir.
automatically. But let's say if it is too far off, it will give you that I'm not able to find a relevant column. Do you mean XYZ column? And if you say yes, then it will continue again. Okay, so it will try to find a very close matching word. If it matches, it will continue. If it doesn't match, it will tell you I could not find. Or it says that I found so and so column closer to this. Do you mean this? Okay, so all three possibilities are there, and it looks at the match percentage. The match is high, it will not ask you. If match is low, then it will ask you. So yes, so both possibilities are there. It continue with new column name, or it will ask you for confirmation.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Sure.
Any more questions from participants? So to end the session, I really thank you, sir. It's a really very remarkable session. It is really interesting. The implementation and explanation of LLM models, data analytics, and also real-time AI decision makings. These are really helpful for the participants and also research scholars, everyone who have participated in this session. It's really hands-on session about creating and generating data, and also how you are going to use the chat GPT, and also how you are going to implement the code. All these are really very helpful for the researchers, students, and everyone. Thank you so much for your session, sir. It's really very insightful for the participants. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, participants, you'll be getting your feedback link in the chat, WhatsApp, and also in the chat here. You need to fill the feedback link, then you can end the call. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your session. Now I would like to invite Dr. Shanti Makka ma'am to brief about tomorrow's session and further end note.
This is audible?
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Yeah. There is some issue, I guess. Thank you, Sapnil sir, for always being a valuable resource person for Vardhaman. Whatever the programs we are organizing, you are definitely one of the person. It may be the national level or international level. Your insightful sessions and expertise are truly appreciated. Participants, thank you all for your active participation and energy on the first day of our program. It has been a great start, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue this journey together. Have a wonderful evening and see you all for day 2. Tomorrow we have Dr. Sanju M. Tiwari, professor from Shada University, Greater Noida, UP. She will be elaborating us on transforming sustainability through knowledge graph intelligence. So kindly join us tomorrow by 6:30 p.m. Once again, thank you all. Good night. Madhurya ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am. I just shared the link in the group, ma'am.
In chat also you have placed?
I just shared it in chat. I'll be sharing it in Teams, ma'am, shortly.
Share it here also.
Okay, ma'am.
Participants, it is compulsory that you have to fill the feedback form on regular basis. And the link will be closed by 8:15 as there is a delay of 15 minutes. That's the reason we have extended further 15 minutes. Thank you all once again.